Alright, Matty Googus here with you once again. Bayard, Florida. Bayard, Jacksonville. I went out early this morning to film the northbounds, but there wasn't anything going on, so I went home and heated up some hot food to come out again, and I missed the first northbound at my home crossing. So here I am back up in Jacksonville. Anyway, stay tuned for the first northbound. It's Saturday, December 20th. All right, it's right around the corner. Well, not a corner. I see the headlight just past that bridge. You can see in the picture. Anyway, these gates should go any second. I'm going to let it run. Yeah, here we go. Right on cue. Alright. Fine cars, they're moving north this morning. Almost all fine cars. FBC does a lot of trailers. Even a whole block of empty fine cars. Finally. Long train. I've said this before, they combine the trains for northbound. Alright, there you go. First two, at least two northbounds here this morning. All right, so the northbound signals went off after that train was passed for a while. Now they came back on red. There's generally not any southbound traffic this time of the morning, any day of the week, but maybe they're queuing up the second northbound. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm making a move. I don't know what's going on. What I suspect is the yard is congested. That first train had to stop, and now they're stopping any subsequent trains south of here before they can proceed. So I'm gonna ride around and see if I can find other signals or stop trains. All right, so I came up here to historic Kings Road North, which is just south of the entrance to the Jacksonville Bowden Yard, and we got all red southbound, but no trains sticking out of the yard. So I don't know. Did anyone hear that quote? What does all red in all directions mean? for train signals. All right, so the northbound signals are different now. Mr. Impatient didn't wait long enough. Only had to wait like a few more minutes. Anyway, looks like the second northbound is coming in on slow approach. Stay tuned. All right, so between two crossings, that's Shad Road down there, and just north where we just came from was Sunbeam Road. So we're not going to hear any train horns like right on top of us, but I'll let it run so you can hear the train horns hopefully coming up on Shad. And then, of course, you'll hear the horns crossing Sunbeam up there. Stay tuned. All right, I heard the train down to Greenland Road. That's the road to Mandarin High School that I never remember the name of. So I'm letting it run. You should hear the horns for Shad Road there pretty soon and see the train appear. If there's dead time, I'll have my video editor cut it out, so I'm going to stop talking. Not much dead time. Look at that, right on cue. I know my geography really well. It's going to be nice and slow and long, and then we'll... All right, good. And then we'll put the Christmas Night of Lights pictures from St. Augustine in here for the Christmas special. Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year. Locomotive sets, 2 LNG locomotive sets. They combine trains for northbound because all the containers and trailers are empty. There's one of those Cypress steel flatbeds. CYPZ. There's more. You see them all the time. The other reason they use a steel one on the railroad is they're only 48 feet. And, so they're kind of obsolete for the road. But they're able to get extended life on these trailers. Only, a truck and them a few miles off here to and from the rail heads. And, they're old trailers, man. They're like, I wouldn't even begin to tell you what year, 80, 70, who knows? They're old trailers. One was a 48-foot steel flatbed new. And that's 53-foot trailers that come out in the 80s, right? When I was doing trucking early in my career. Oh boy, this is going to be a long video. Yeah, there you go, 1, 2, 3. And then 2 more. I mean, structurally, they're fine. You put new wheels on them, and these trailers will last forever. Oh boy. I don't know if I wanted this long of a video. Oh well, it is what it is. You can see the springs on these Seaboard cars because they're loaded. This brings her down a little bit. It's garments. It's not super heavy, but crickets. I mean, it's mostly garments. I don't claim to know every piece of stick of freight that Seaboard puts on its containers, but I know there's a garment move. It's one of those. I forget what they used to call it. I forget what they call it now, but it's a tax-free. It's a tariff-free garment move because the cotton is grown here and processed, shipped to, dare I say, a third world nation where they do the work, sewing, and then they ship them back here where they do the trimming and put the labels on. It's a good move for everybody, like I said in a previous video. I think so. You got people working, you got a business, you got a thriving business in a third world nation versus just giving them handouts where they can, where they're just not working at all and doing drugs all day. Braiding hair. I'm sorry, is that racist? Braiding hair. I think the Scots braided hair long before we even knew those other people you're not supposed to talk. I'm being stupid, man. I have two of my closest friends in here, Jacksonville, are black guys, and I've known them both in excess of 15 years. One of them works for CSX, in fact, and I don't have a problem with anybody in any color, creed, accent, as long as you're not an asshole. That's the only requirement. Don't be an asshole. Big, little, strong musicians, arty, smarty. Come one, come all. Who said that? Come ye all faithful. I don't know, how does that go? How does that go? I'm not super religious, but I am spiritual. I believe that I'm living my life in a manner in which I'll be judged favorably in the end, and has no bearing on anyone else. I mean, they get the benefit of me being a decent, moral, law-abiding citizen, and I remind them of that all the time. But what I believe is, and how I live my life is, how do I say this? Nobody should have any problem with how I live my life and what I believe in for faith. If you do, then you're just, annoying. I mean, you want this is a free country, free world, hardcore religious people don't like me talking like this because it's too plain, but it's too straightforward. But there doesn't even have to be a God. I've said this before. In order for you to live your life in a manner in which you feel you'll be judged favorably at the end, right? I should have shut up and put some Christmas music on here, but I'll put the Christmas music on the pictures of the Christmas lights, and I'll yap through this. Oh boy, approaching 10 minutes. Up close and personal with the Florida East Coast Railway on this beautiful Saturday day, December the 20th, 5 days before Christmas. Woohoo! Is that the end? I might see the end. Hold on. Why? I know it seems longer when they're going slow, but this is a long train. Another long train on Saturday morning. Another long northbound. 99% empty equipment. And no, that wasn't the end. Still coming around that corner down there, Shad Road. That might be the end. All right, let's see. I hope so. My phone's gonna crash when it finishes. I haven't cleaned it up recently. I did buy 2 terabytes. I was having space issues again. I mean, Google. I mean, I bought 200 megabytes 2 months ago and it was gone. I mean, I don't believe that I used 200 gigs. I bought 200 gigs 2 or 3 months ago and it was gone like that. I honestly don't believe that I went through 200 gigs in that short of amount of time. But, you know, considering I clear out stuff, even from backup. But never seems to open up any space anyway. No, that wasn't the end. We got a block of green containers there, either EMPs or a hub. And that might be the end. More seaboard. Look at all the seaboard. Cars waiting at Sunbeam Road. You think the people would know? Oh, there goes the traffic at Shad. So yeah, the end of the train has passed Shad. Can you see that in the corner of the picture? Anyway, people sitting at Sunbeam for 15 minutes. I mean, there's ways around this. Just go back to if you're west of the tracks. Just go back to well, there's a couple roads you can take, but go back to San Jose Boulevard and go up to where the bridge over the tracks is, Bay Meadows Road or University Boulevard. But maybe they like to see the trains too. They just like to sit in their car and listen to music while they're doing it. Yeah, I should have done music on this train. Oh well. Probably could have got 2 songs. Or 3. Going on 3 songs. Well, I was going to make my Christmas special video a little longer than. It was going to be short and sweet. 2 trains and pictures go fast. But I'll put this in there so it'll be, 15, 20-minute video instead of a 10-minute video. Anyway. Look at all these freaking double stack containers, man. Holy cow. Yeah, the economy sucks, not in Florida. Ha ha ha. Anyway. All right, approaching 15 minutes. So that final block, this final block here, even with the heavy seat containers on a double stack, that might be the Hurricane train. I haven't talked about this much, but when I was here, we put together a joint marketing agreement with the Norfolk Southern. There's a train we call the Hurricane. It leaves Atlanta every day for Miami. It's a non-stop train, meaning it doesn't stop at any yards. They have to stop to change crews out, of course, but Atlanta, Norfolk Southern brings it down to Jacksonville and then comes across the river, and then FEC crews, of course, take it the rest of the way, and then it goes back. So this entire block right here, double stack, cars, might just get handed off to the Norfolk Southern and go back north to Atlanta. All right, let me do my signature line. All right, there you go. Florida East Coast Railway northbound. Oh, and yeah, thanks for the horn salute. We absolutely, positively appreciate that. All right, well, I don't know what it has to do with Christmas, but it has major to do with St. Augustine. So I was driving by here, they got Christmas lights. And the world famous St. Augustine Lighthouse. Everybody knows St. Augustine is the oldest city in America, right? That lighthouse has been here for a long time. I don't know if it was here in 1500, but anyway, there's a lot of history. Oh boy, it doesn't look as pretty on screen as it does in real life. I don't know why. Hopefully it comes out. But I got lucky, one of the boats. All right, well, I had to come to Georgie's Diner to upload a giant file, so I would have been remiss to not film the old headquarters while I was here. They got some lights, not crazy amount of lights, but it's lit up. I always like that. 1 Malaga Street. Why 1? Because they built the whole town, that's why. And there's the old, I don't know what you call that thing. Anyway, like a crest. Alright, I'm gonna get the front of this place, but this might be the big one we see. Anyway, there's a whole row of them. Stay tuned. Alright, I don't know where we start. Start over here. There's the one I just came out from. It's actually not the biggest. Here comes a trolley. Hold on. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna get this whole row. This is the block you see right here where it's all like, I mean, it goes for a long way, but these are all done out. Just to give you a frame of reference, so, well, here we go. Here's the, thank you. I know I wasn't in the crosswalk. Here's the inlet or the intercoastal waterway. San Sebastian River. I don't know which river it is, but in the Bridge of Lions. All right, we're definitely going in here. Sorry, my esophageal damage is really showing up today. Oh, they got snow going over here. Cool. Alright, let's get the snow. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, here's the tree. Get the whole thing away, have it like that. Anyway, right next to the Grinch. Alright, anyway, I don't know. I'm getting this up close and personal. I'm going to go back and do some distance for you folks that don't come here. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, well, here's the epicenter. I got a barrier around here so I can't, so you don't walk too far in the street. I like this place because it has the ornaments, the big ornaments up there underneath the deck. Oh, and the teeny martini bar, of course. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, here's Best Western. Or I guess that's the Harborview Cafe. That's the Best Western. The very front of the Best Western. Alright, yeah, I know I'm in close quarters here, but I'm gonna head for the Peace de Resistance, which is the Lightning Museum. Yeah, everybody gets involved. Yeah, it's a Christian country, primarily Christian. If you're not aware of that, or you think it's not, well, just take my word for it. Even in back here, this is a back street. Of course, it's one of the streets that makes up the old town, yeah. All right, we're getting back onto the main street, King Street. There's the Treasury. You can see the tops of the Christmas lights on the common. Stay tuned. All right, so you have to turn back, Casarena, and then we're coming around. This is the monument with the flag. All right, and then stay tuned. I'm going over there. All right, here's the other monument, and then here's the beginning of the common. All right. All right, not as busy as it was the other night, but still pretty busy. We're what, 3 days from Christmas now? Woo! All right, the Casa Monica, which is a very upscale hotel. They didn't go crazy with the lights, but wait, Peace de Resistance is right around the corner. Another view of the Casa Monica, and then I'm gonna ease down here. Don't worry, I'm gonna get closer, but there's the Lightner. All right, so the Lightner Museum obviously was a hotel. I mean, you should be able to tell that, but here's the front yard. They got music playing tonight, Christmas music. All right, nice. All right, well done. Well done. All right, so I'm calling it the Lightning Museum, but because that's what it is now. But here's the history. All right, you can pause on that. And Just beautiful, huh? Another piece de resistance is that Flagler College building over there now, which is also used to be a hotel. More the front of the Lightning Museum. It's called Menendez Park. So here's the yeah. So you see the sign in the corner there. That's the main the focal point, center of or the beginning of the college anyway. That building, yeah, is administration. All right, here's the famous Columbia. All right, so I had to film this. Check it out. The whole swath of no people. All right, so this is the transportation center. The only reason I bring it up is there's a multitude of transportation providers here now. There used to be a couple of trolleys, Old Town, and I forget the other one, but now there's more than I can count. But anyway, here's the beautiful hotel. I'll get the name of it. I forget. I'm gonna get closer. Okay, so yeah, the Renaissance. I'm gonna get that tower up there. Beautiful, huh? All right, so here's the front of the Renaissance. And then we're going to look up here, but I don't know how much further I'm going to go. I remember what I said the other day, so a little girl about 7 or 8 years old turned around and gave me a big smile. A young lady in a Suburban heading out of town said, "Merry Christmas, sir." And a young man in another car said, have a wonderful night or something like that. Anyway, because I walk around with a smile on my face. All right, back to the main drag. This is A1A, Intracoastal Highway, but it's also Avenue Menendez. I'm going to give you another nice long look. All right, so my trash fell out of my pocket, my empty coffee cup, so I had to stop filming, but here you go. This is the main drag. This is not all of it, but again, to give you a point of reference. So there's the Intracoastal Waterway and the Bridge of Lions. Obviously, these hotels here are considered on the water. Well, I was just getting new pictures, but you know, the video you can stop and zoom in. I guess you can zoom in on pictures too, but quiet here tonight, quieter than normal. I guess everybody decided to stay home Monday. Enjoying, the people here are really enjoying their space. The line for ice cream was only about maybe 30 people instead of 50 to 100. Major police presence here. As there should be, I guess. We're not going to let things get out of control here in Florida. Like I've told you before, I practice my constitutional carry, and I'm always armed. In the case that I'm never going to be in a position where someone starts a mass shooting and I can't stop it, or do something about it. And that's how a lot of us Floridians feel. Of course, it's not going to happen here in Florida. I mean, it has, but anyway, I'll do a final wrap-up. All right, back at the Carmen. I was going to say I don't know the school, but it's Duval County. But here's another thing they do in Florida. They, there's a police officer on premises at all times at schools now. So they do up a car with the high school logo on it. This one just happens to be from Duval County, which is Jacksonville. All right, back at the Christmas tree. Matty Gook is here with you once again in downtown historic St. Augustine. Anyway, quick wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the town with all the lights, Christmas lights, and anyway, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Be safe.